Hello everyone, the Chart Guys have been working on an introductory technical analysis course for quite some time now, and after surveying hundreds of traders with what would be the most sought after information regarding technical analysis, we came up with this course, When to Enter and Exit. It covers over 5 hours of the basics on when to enter and exit, and we feel after watching this course it will help build a foundation of technical analysis knowledge which will eliminate a lot of the uncertainty in the world of trading stocks. So the course outline, we go over the psychology of trading, establishing a game plan, the different indicators we use to signal a bullish and bearish entry, how to recognize support and resistance levels, poor entries, where traders make mistakes, exit targets, how do you know where to sell your trade, where to place stop losses, that's very important, minimizing losses is what keeps you in the game long term, my personal preparations, how I go about getting ready for each trading day, and then piecing it all together, utilizing all the information we just learned and how to apply that in the real world for making successful, profitable trades. As a bonus, we also include a lot of information on finding entries and exits utilizing patterns, and you can find these patterns on every time frame on pretty much any stock and commodity trading, and certainly being able to recognize those patterns can give you an edge as well. So we hope you will check this out. Again, it's an introductory level course. So if you are new to technical analysis and trying to get a firm grasp on things and feeling a little bit overwhelmed, then this course is for you. I hope you check it out. Appreciate you watching. Hello, hope you're having a good weekend looking at some travel stocks, PCLN, TRIP, and EXPE. We'll start with PCLN because it is clearly the sector leader coming off of all-time highs and certainly showing a lot of strength. The bulls showed up this past week, and with the market hitting all-time highs, we know it certainly favors the bulls in individual names. A bullish MACD cross, and we broke the lower high pattern. We had the all-time high, a lower high, and then from there, lower highs and lower lows pretty much all the second half of December. And that changed once the bulls broke this level of 1503, and then 1513 was another lower high. So we've broken both of those levels. There's a gap to fill here at 1526. That was our target, and it hit that target. So now we are looking at the next resistance is up here, that level of 1567. And we can see a nice little increase in bull volume on the way up. Certainly a strong close on Friday, and we'll see if that momentum carries on into this next week. We did lose that middle Bollinger Band last week, and that was definitely a heads up to the bulls to be paying attention for some further pullback. But with the market strength, the bulls regain that level and then some with some nice upside movement. The middle Bollinger Band is back as support at 1474, and we are looking at the all-time high. Again, there is that resistance level beforehand, but the bulls are in full control of this trend. When we look at TRIP, and these other names are starting to see some bullish action as well. You can see it's nowhere near as bullish overall as we had the gap down and a big pullback, but we have found a base, and this oversold bounce is playing out now, and we have broken the lower high pattern here as well. So once we got over 47.65, the bulls started to show up in a big way, increasing volume, close above the upper Bollinger Band. We are now in breakout mode, and we're at the highest price we've seen in over a month. So the next key resistance is 52.08, this little bounce attempt high back here, and the 50-day moving average resistance is going to be in the 51.50s early next week, so we'll be watching that resistance as well. You can see the weekly time frame has very clearly been in a downtrend, so not nearly as strong as PCLN, but the bulls are trying to see the oversold weekly bounce play out as well. You can see that little bounce attempt, 52.08, ended up being a bear flag. But if we break that level, there's some nice upside room because of how quickly we dumped to the downside. And we can see if we can start filling this gap to the upside. So we'll be watching PCLN for some clues on these other smaller names. But it is, you can see that 3-day breakout certainly being seen on TRIP here as well. When we look at EXPE, very similar bullish action. The difference here, we had the signal for the bullish entry when the 200-day moving average became support again after multiple rejections. And then we had a big gap up day, and it was certainly a profit-taking day. You can see that big upper wick. So the gap to the downside would fill at 114.84 in the middle, or the 200-day moving average support would be right there as well. We need to be cautious. If we break 116.13, the low of Friday, we will begin filling this gap. We did gain that middle Bollinger Band as support, and you can see all these rejections back in early December. So to turn that level into support is a good sign for the bulls. But again, with the profit taking after the gap up, want to be cautious and scouting for a bullish entry here. Weekly time frame is bouncing right off key support, the 50 and 100 week moving averages. 111 118.49 and 112.49. Middle Bollinger Band weekly resistance is 118.42. We can see a nice uptrend since February, higher lows and higher highs. So we'll see if the bulls are going to resume this uptrend after more significant consolidation than we've seen in quite some time. But a bullish reversal candlestick on this past week, and we're looking for follow through and confirmation of that. So we've been watching PCLN for a while. It's been on our resident bull list. And now after seeing this bullish action on some of these other laggards in the same sector, definitely going to be watching them as well. There's been some nice gains last week, and we'll see if these weekly charts can turn around some of these trends. And it really only Trip is in a downtrend on the weekly time frame. You can see both PCLN with that all-time high and EXPE, nice uptrend all of 2016. So in terms of strength on the weekly chart, PCLN, EXPE is number 2, and Trip would be number 3. I appreciate you watching. We'll check back in on these names after this coming week. Have a great night.